Engine got heated up in the traffic. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with yet another video with my Duke 790. Today I'm not going on any road trip or any night ride. Okay, today I'm here to see the new KTM Adventure 250. They have launched it here. I told them to call me, but they didn't call me at all. Oh, over there. Look at this bike. Which tire? MRF tire. Boss, MRF tire. What is this? Are you kidding? MRF tire. What the? You guys have come down to MRF tire? Okay, I understand. There's a lot of restrictions on the imports, right? We are not getting the tires. Even my 790 tire, after 2000 kilometers, I'll have to change. The stock tires are almost dying. Man, the stickering, the orange treatment on this black parts, I like it. Superb. It looks similar to Adventure 390. This design is different, but from this view, side angle, from even if I see this from the rear section, it looks similar. There is no much difference between 390 and 250. Guys, if I watched my old video, I had booked KTM Adventure 390, but in the last moment I changed my mind and I bought KTM Duke 790, the Torque Monster. Now let me check with the sales guy whether this is available for test ride, and let me talk about some specifications and all that. So tell me one thing, you guys have installed the MRF tires for this? You don't have the option for Madzilla or something?
The main reason being Madzilla for the Asian market is made in China.
Okay.
So government did not want to.
Oh, that import ban. Okay. Can I compare this with Himalaya?
Oh yeah, its main competition is the Himalayan.
Himalayan.
Is not a very good bike. I'm saying this because I used to own a Himalayan.
Oh, you used to own Himalayan. Okay. Himalayan comes with 24 PS. This is 30.
Yeah.
6 PS difference.
6 years difference, but on the Himalayan, the only good thing is the low end torque. Yeah.
What's the gear shifting ratio? Or what's the top speed in first gear and second gear in this bike?
I'm not exactly sure because I haven't ridden the bike myself yet.
Ah.
No one's ridden the bike.
There is no much difference between this and 390 Adventure, right?
Dimension wise, there's not.
Dimension wise, it's same.
Yeah, you get the two radiators with the two fans. Suspension travel is the same. 170 in the front, 177 in the rear.
Okay.
Tire profiles are the same.
Seat height is also same. Seat is also same.
Seat is also same. Tank capacity is also the same at 14.5.
14.5, 400 kilometers.
Yeah.
For 390 Adventure, you guys quoted. For this?
This one it should be at least 420 plus. Again, it depends on how you ride the bike.
What's the mileage you guys are quoting?
So 250, you should get at least around 30 to 35 depending on how you ride the bike.
Okay.
Yeah. So main difference is you get a TFT on there. This comes with an LCD screen.
I'm not a big fan of LCD, TFT and all that. I just want to ride the bike all the time.
No off-road ABS. No, sorry, there is off-road ABS. There is no cornering ABS. There is no traction control. And yeah, no TFT.
That's fine. 250cc, it's okay. Traction control is not required. See, 390 Adventure has got a lot of torque in it, so traction control is relevant for that bike. But for this, it's kind of not required, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just 250cc and 30 horsepower, right? We can manage.
So you do get a slipper clutch and again switchable ABS on the rear.
Okay, in that we get quick shifter in Adventure 390. Slipper clutch, ABS, and then?
Yeah, that's about it. Slipper clutch and switchable ABS on the rear wheel, also known as off-road ABS. On the Dukes, it's known as the Supermoto mode.
In my bike also, in Duke 7, it have an option that's called the Supermoto mode. We can turn off the ABS in the rear wheel. We can have some fun around in the corners or something. So in this also we have got option to turn off the ABS for the rear wheel, and we have the ABS.
Single channel in the front, yeah.
Now there are only two major things. ABS anyways, it comes with almost all the bikes.
Yeah.
In terms of electronics, you have that switchable ABS option, and the second thing is slipper clutch. And no quick shifter.
No quick shifter.
Okay.
Slipper clutch is standard from the 250 now.
The engine is same,
Engine is the same. Powerful.
but how about the low end torque? Like that's a bit aggressive, right? Have you tuned the engine in this?
No, it's actually the same because 30 horsepower, 30, 24 Newton meters, again 24.
My thing is when we are going through off road, right? Max to max, we might do 20 kilometer to 35 kilometer per hour. So we can't keep shifting the gears all the time. The engine will get heated up soon. So that's the reason why have you guys tuned a bit, because this is targeted for off-road, semi-off-road kind of?
Cannot comment on that because
Have not ridden it. Okay. As far as we don't ride it, we don't get to experience how this bike performs. So that's the thing.
10-step adjustable suspension on the rear.
Okay.
Preload adjustable, nothing else.
Now tell me one thing. What's the top speed on this? The same engine, right? You might be aware.
So you should be able to do about, let's say, average around 150.
150.
Conditions, again, a lot of variables involved.
Ah.
So 150 should be average.
Since you have the similar engine in Duke 250 as well, so what's the comfortable cruising speed in that? Comfortable cruising speed, they constantly, for example, in
Between 100 to 110 should be comfortable.
100 to
110.
110. No, however, 80 to 100 is the
So
preferable.
this is for Indian roads.
Indian roads, it's preferable to just cruise at that speed. If we go beyond that, anyways, it's not good for us, and even we have some norms now. This is soft compound tire, or what kind of tires you guys have put? This is for touring and off-road, semi-off-road.
Yeah, so I would give it a 70-30 split compared to the 60-40 on the Mazda.
How about this thing, the mag wheels? Is it strong enough to absorb the impact when we go through potholes? Since this is an adventure bike, we can do saddling, right, in the bad patches. Will it absorb the impact?
The profile is big enough.
Ah.
It will not be touching the rims anytime soon.
Okay.
80 and 90, so it's more than enough.
When I came here last time, Chetan explained me that we can drop this mag wheel from 3-story building from that height, but it doesn't bend, something like that he explained.
Okay.
It can absorb a lot of impact, but it is not going to break or bend or something.
If you have touring in mind, the adventure makes more sense. If there's a lot of off-road involved,
Himalayan. Okay. Got it, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for your time. And you take my contacts. I want to ride it. I want to experience, and I need to see how this bike is going to perform. Just give me a ring whenever it is available for test ride. I will come back. I am planning for one adventure bike or a cruiser bike in 300 to 400cc segment. However, I have seen almost all the 300 to 400cc segment bikes available in the market, like Java, Parag, the CB350 motorcycles in Royal Enfield. But this has got 30 horsepower for just 250cc, right? Only that Java Parag, it's not a tourer bike, by the way, but that has got 30 PS. Apart from that, all the other bikes are 21, 24 PS. This is the only bike which comes with 30 PS for 250cc. There is no other bike available in the market with the same range of torque and power delivery. I'm not comparing cruiser bikes with the adventure bike. In my mind, I'm just thinking around. I have two things in my mind, either a cruiser bike or an adventure bike. Cruiser is for only highway, for city purpose, I know. We can't take it to off-road. If we have this, we can do touring, do whatever the hell we want to do. Now everything boils down to the on-road price in Bengaluru. What's the on-road price?
3.13.
3.13. Adventure 390?
3.91.
What's the price of Duke 250?
2.66.
2.66. That means how much? Around 50 or 1,000 rupees difference between these two bikes. Everything is similar, right? The chassis, the other body parts are different, and the tires are different, but the engine is same, performance is same, and electronics is also same. Electronics in terms of that slipper clutch, but still, why is that 60,000 rupees difference between Duke 250 and this Adventure 250?
The display is new.
Display
is new. You get more suspension travel.
Suspension travel. Okay.
There's 200 mm ground clearance compared to 185 there.
Okay.
Bigger fuel tank. 14.5 compared to 13.5 there.
Includes how many years of insurance?
2 years. Insurance or warranty?
Sorry, warranty.
2 years.
Extended warranty we need to pay
Warranty
extra.
It's chargeable. It's available as a 3-year pack.
Now the spare parts availability, because for my 790 it's a task for me to get the spare parts.
Again, made in India, so
It's okay. Maintenance cost might be similar, right? Both the bikes.
targeted around 3,000 rupees. Again, depends on the consumables involved.
Just give me a ring now. I have to ride it once.
Alright, sure.
Okay, I will drop my contacts. Thank you. Nice meeting you. Thank you. Bye bye. See, the matter of fact is 3,91,000 is the price of Adventure 390, and the price of Adventure 350 is 3.13. There is 78,000 rupees difference between 390 Adventure and 250 Adventure. In my opinion, it's not a huge difference at all. I was expecting these guys to launch this bike within 3 lakh range, somewhere around 2.7 to 2.8 lakhs. 3,13,000 for 250cc adventure bike. It's slightly on the higher side. And what's the price difference between Adventure 250 and Himalaya? 3,13,000 is 250 Adventure price. Himalaya will cost you 2,51,000 or something. And there is around 60,000 rupees price difference between Himalaya and Adventure 250. Man, KTM, again, you are doing the same thing what you did with my Duke 790. You launched it at 10,86,000 for this bike. But luckily I got some discount when I bought it. That's a different story. That's the reason why I bought it. Now you're again launching this 250cc engine adventure bike for 3.13 lakhs. Bit on the higher side, man. I'm impressed with the design and the concept of this bike. But the problem is, I'm not happy with the price of this bike. If you ask me, boss, I may add another 70,000 and buy that 390 Adventure. 390 Adventure is also close to 4 lakhs. That is also on the higher side only. KTM, tell me one thing, when are you going to learn from Royal Enfield? You get their 650cc Continental GT or Interceptor within 3.5 lakhs range. And you are quoting 250cc bike for 3.31 lakhs. What is this? However, guys, that's the only thing that I'm not happy with. But there are some other elements to this bike, like the features. They have given slipper clutch and that 30 horsepower and all. That's a good thing in that bike, right? So you can have some fun around with that bike. Your ride will not be that boring compared to the Royal Enfield bikes, where you'll have to just constantly cruise at around 80 km/h. I'm only talking about those aggressive riders who want to have some fun with the motorcycle here and there to keep the throttle open, something like that. The Royal Enfield motorcycle is for those riders who catch the straight line and they don't want to open the throttle all the time. That's it for this video, guys, and I'm really excited to ride KTM Adventure 250. I'm just waiting for that guy to give me a ring when it's available for a test ride. Thank you guys for watching. By the way, if you're interested to watch the other bike reviews that I have done with Meteor and other Royal Enfield bikes, Java bikes, I have put the links in the description below. You can go ahead and watch it. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.